Okay, I got the white primer sanded on the old Sumo. I'm going to go ahead and primer the piston. I think I'm just going to face it down like this. I'm going to add a coat on here. You know, I don't know, I might add maybe 1 or 2 coats and then just sand it with some 600. So I didn't sand the bottom. Okay, whatever. I think that'll be fine. What I am going to do is add the good old 2-in-1 last coat on here, but I am going to do it until I do not see any more imperfections. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with 1 coat, doing this vertically, and then I got to figure out a rotisserie to start, especially filling in whatever might be left here, or maybe any scratches or body spirals. We'll see what shows up in the first coat though. All right, here we go. All right, let's do this. Go ahead and just hit the piston. I'm gonna try not to really get it on the inside, but it really doesn't matter unless you're really going for weight reduction. I might have to move it, but if it gets down in there, so what? I'm not worried about it. You know, I could paint it maybe red or yellow. Probably yellow, kind of match the fins, so it kind of contrasts with the red, because I'm going to paint the fins yellow just like on the face card. So we'll let that dry. It's kind of a coat, and I think we'll put another coat or 2 on. So I'm going to fill this as much as I can. I'm going to hit this pretty thick because it's the last coat, so drips or whatever, I don't care. This filler stuff is where it's at though, compared to the flat gray, because that was a disaster. I'm gonna fill this in for sure, and if I have to put another coat on until I don't see any imperfections, I will, because I'm still seeing a lot of stuff with that last coat. See, still seeing that crack. You don't like crack around here. We don't do that. Crack's not cool. I'm going to have to go vertical. This I know. Or horizontal. I'm going to have to try and fill these in this as much as we can. Whatever. It's not a total disaster. It's coming out okay for now, but I do have to get that as filled in as possible. Of course, I don't really care about that. I don't know. That spiral, so what? Could fill it in if I was absolutely going for perfection. But, you know, not really worried about that. Just making sure we hit the fins everywhere that we need to. This is going to be the last coat. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave it alone for now. I'm not seeing really any missed spots, like totally missed spots, so. But we do have holes here and there that we definitely want to patch up. Like that. Definitely want to patch that up. A little bit there, and of course, That right there. We got to do something about that. Dare me? Let's try it. It's just gonna run if I do it too thick. There's one right there. Just a little bit. That's why I gotta go horizontal. I'm just messing around now. All right. And by the way, yeah, I know I got the paper. Big whoop, right? Well, I did clean. I pressure washed the table and I pressure washed pretty much my entire house. So, yeah. But I still got the table over here. But here I am done priming it. I put that on pretty thick right there, so you definitely see that. Just make sure I wasn't missing anything. But I'm thinking the next step is just going to be trying to fill in any imperfections. Trying to, at least, especially that bad boy. And there's a lot of fuzzies on here, so I might just have to do it with like some 320, put another coat on there. I don't know, maybe just go straight to 600, do another coat of 600, and then 600 again. I don't know if I gotta do the whole 3-step. Okay, so I decided to weld it just to fill it in. Just kidding, I put a lot of primer. I've actually literally coated this twice now, and I've even doubled a coat on this. And I'm trying to fill in this pinhole. It's probably gonna bubble up here in a second. It'll probably breathe through again. But I'm doing a pro move here. I'm actually just laying it on the table and rotating it. I think it's just fine. But I got most of the imperfections filled in on the sides. It's good. It's going to be about as smooth as I'm going to have to make more work for myself with this though. But I am trying to seriously fill. There's a bad hole right there. I might just have to sand it and then fill it and then sand it and fill it just in that specific spot. That's where I am right now. So, and I about went through a whole dang can doing this. But I've got it pretty smooth. You can barely see a spiral right there. I don't know why I don't want to focus sometimes. Especially when it's a smooth paint, it just has nothing to focus on, no reference, I guess. But you get the picture. See, it's coming back now. See, took that. It didn't take long at all. It's a pretty good sized pinhole. I might have to work at it. I might have to wait for it to dry in the sand and then do it again. Yep, that's not good. Let's check in with the Sumo. It's been a couple days since I've primered this quite a bit, and I don't know if I can get you a good view. There's a little hole there. This is not what I really want you to look at, and this is not what I want you to look at. This right here is what is having the big issue right now. If I can get you to see that. That has dried up and cracked. That pinhole's still there, and of course I got all this, the sand. And then on this one, I've got all this crack right here going on. So yeah, that's an issue. So instead of just priming it, I'm actually going to take this right here, even on this layer. I'm going to hit it with this and then primer it a coat or two more times, and then whatever, it is what it is, and I'm going to paint this. Here's what we got going on right here. And this is it. And I'm tired of messing with it. At this point, it's just going to be what it is. It's going to be as clean as it can be. That's a lot of sanding, extra sanding right there, but I mushed it in there as best I could with the old toothpick, trying to force it into the cracks and holes. And I'm going to give it a sand here in a little while when it's all dried. and see what it does, if it sticks or not. Change of scenery. So, update. I got a different bowl. This Sumo is pretty much sanded. Okay? I hit it with the 600 grit. I've smoothed out this stuff as much as I possibly can. It is about as smooth can be, and of course with my mistake of the CA glue, I'm thinking it's going to be about as good as it's going to get. Now I still got a little bit of cleaning to do as far as getting it prepped, like wiped and washed off all the primering mud, dust that's still on it. And there's still a couple high spots here where I over primed it, like the primer's a little thick, but it's not going to be the prettiest fillets, but I guarantee you it's going to be really strong with those CA fillets. So for a level 1, I'm thinking we're looking good. Of course, we're still going to have to attach that bad boy here soon. And as far as the piston goes, I got that painted. It's been dry for a long time, that's for sure. Let's just say that. Now, we have to decide how we're going to do this, because this has to be sanded, because it's way too thick to put in that 4-inch body tube now. So I put a couple coats on here of the gray primer, and I'm thinking I could probably maybe start with 220 wet, and of course, yeah, I could get in there a little bit, or I can get up in there. I ain't worried about that. But there's a lot of little fuzzies, and I'm sure you can even hear that. There's a lot of not so prettiness on there, so that's definitely all got to be smoothed out. I tried sticking it in the body tube, and it's not fitting at this point. So we're back to square one. Will I actually paint it? I don't know yet. I'm thinking I'm just going to keep it the primer color for as of right now, for simplicity's sake. Look at that. That's the 220 grit, and I'm not gonna get crazy with this. I'm just gonna use the 220 pretty much to knock off all those bumps. I'm gonna dip it back in the water, clean it off. Yeah, wet sanding's where it's at when you can wet sand. Wet sand when you can wet sand, that's for sure. I am sold on that. If you can't wet sand, let's say if it's just bare cardboard and you're not gonna be able to do it yet, but if you got a couple layers of paint or primer on there, yeah, wet sand. Or if you're doing plastic, wet sand. To me, right about now, it's the only way to go. I can hear the difference already. It's not on those bumps like that anymore. Now I'm just kind of lightening up. I was kind of firm, but now I'm lightening up and just going back over it one more time with the 220. I think that's that. And then what I'm going to do, put that back in the bowl. We got to get rid of all this slurry. So what I have is some handy dandy napkins, because that is what we clean up with. And this is a dry napkin. I just want to see what we've been doing so far. Yeah, getting a lot off, that's for sure. Now, if I got to take a lot of this off, whatever. This is just for sealing purposes and smoothness of coming in and out of the airframe. Okay, there's still a lot of rough stuff that I didn't hit that good, but I'll hit it when I go up to the 400 grit next. I'm going to skip 320 and go right to 400. Alright, so now I've hit it with the 400. Got it all cleaned off with a paper towel. I don't know if you can see the shine there. This is definitely getting really smooth. That's still a little rough right there, but I'm going to go to the 600 next, and that's going to be it. That's going to be it. So, I happen to have some 600 ready to go. And I'm going to work at this probably a lot more. And I'm not using a whole lot of force. Just kind of firm. And I'm just watching. gonna dip that back in. I think if I hold it this way, it won't go down that way. It's just gonna go towards this end. This is almost polishing at this point. And I'm telling you, this piston is worth it. If I ever do another piston build, this might be the only way to go, because man, this piston right here is what has just held me up on this build. Pissed me off, made me question my ability as a Rocketeer. Wipe it off, see what's going on here so far. Oh, we're getting, oh no! That's all right. All right, so I think we're done sanding this. This is buttery smooth now. Yeah, there's a couple crevices and stuff here and there, but it's really all about just how smooth it is. Now, I don't know if I'm sure yet, but some of this cardboard right here, especially on the end, seems like it's starting to swell up a little bit. So I'm gonna have to watch that, okay? There's a bit of a risk wet sanding how I'm doing it right now. I didn't put a coat or anything there, which I probably should have, but I didn't. That's my dum-dum moment. So let this dry, and I'm gonna see how this fits, and we'll go from there. I'll give you a little bit of what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to flatten this out. So I'm kind of hitting that kind of firm with my middle finger. Just trying to smooth out that little bit of a seam that's right there. Well, the thicker part of the primer where I really over primed it. And I'm just going back over it and seeing if I feel any, because this is pretty much done. I'm just going back over it, feeling my finger if I feel any more rough spots that I might have missed. And then I'm going to give it one more bath. And then I don't think I'm going to mask it off. I'm just going to go ahead and paint the fins yellow. Look, Ma, I got a Sumo on a stick. All right, it's now or never, do or die. We got to do this. It's crunch time. This is what I did the Aero with. All right, the Painter's Touch 2X Golden Sunset, okay? I got this warming up in this water here. I'm gonna go with Sunburst Yellow. I've literally just got that dowel rod just sitting up to the baffle, okay? It's kind of loose, so hopefully the wind will cooperate, because it's been windy and terrible all day. I literally got maybe another hour of sunlight, so we'll see if we can actually do this. The temperature's probably about, I don't know, about 70 or so. It's not hot and it's not cool. It's actually nice out. Thankfully the wind has calmed down, because it was like 20 mile an hour earlier today. I tried to do this morning and it was not happening. So hopefully this doesn't spin on me. I probably should have shoved something in there to kind of keep it stable, but we shall see. No masking, no mask. We're gonna see if that this yellow is gonna show up through the red paint that I did with the nose cone, same color. I don't want to do like I did with the High Flyer and have a lip of primer showing, a little line of primer. So whatever I hit here, hopefully the red will cover up, because when I'm done, I'm going to mask the fins off. All right, wind's going that way. Already know we're going to get overspray on the Rocket. That's just a given. My number one thing is I just don't want to get any runs. Now, I could turn it. Hopefully it won't fall on me, because my cinder block idea is not the best. So work with the wind, right? See, it's turning on me. Light first coat. Give it probably about 5-10 minutes. That went on a little heavy. As long as we're not getting any runs, we'll be all right. I just got to make sure I get the edges too. Trailing edge, the leading edge. All right. Sun, probably can't see it that good. Light coat, light coat. And hopefully we won't see the red through here. This might be a botched job regardless, but we're gonna find out. I'll just call it a custom paint job. It's a custom Sumo paint job. Don't have to be face card perfect, right? So I'm gonna say that's a first coat. This is gonna be my level 1 cert rocket anyways. I'd rather be built strong and look pretty and have a successful certification flight. So I'm gonna wait about 5-10 minutes. Probably not even, probably about more like 5. And then just see what we can do. Put another 2 coats on there at least. Might have to put more. Round 2. Let's see what we get here, huh? I'm gonna try and kind of make sure I hit the bottoms, hit the edges. This might be more than 3 coats, I'm gonna tell you that right now. If I get some on the aft, so what? I don't want to give you all an ugly looking rocket, but sometimes things don't go to plan. Alright, another coat there. So I have to do several light coats to get the desire, what we want, and so be it. This ain't going on as light or light. Now, I have had not the best luck with this kind here. Now, the painter's touch, the 2X, I have. This always seems I get runs almost every time, it seems. Putting it on kind of thick, painting my hand. That's how I roll. Starting to get that shine. Of course, you start seeing every single little mistake in the primer. I don't remember what fin I did. I lost track of the fins. Oh well. I guess I need to pay attention where the lugs are. Duh. Start at the lugs and then work your way around till you get back to the lugs. Maybe that'll be a good point of reference to use. I only waited about 5 or so minutes. Watched the last video I just made, a little segment. Saw how it looked. And then by the time I was done watching that, I figured it was time to put on the other coat. As long as we're not getting any runs. And I don't want to curse it. But we're not just yet. So, okay. I don't want to press our luck too much. And I know that we've already hit this, because that's the bad fin. That's the one that's got the most primer on it. As long as the red doesn't show, and as long as the red coat, when we do the body, doesn't show all this, I think we'll be all right. Okay. Another 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and let's see what I'm not hitting. See, I don't think I'm gonna luck out like I did with the Aero. I'm not gonna luck out so good with this one because those cracks are showing, and I really did give them what I could, and it's whatever. But you know how you do. You want to get your cert and you wait till the last minute. So yeah, we got to build it. We got to make sure it's done. And if I probably didn't show them to you, you probably wouldn't notice. But yeah, there's some spirals still showing. A lot of overspray going up under the rail guide there. Hope that overspray don't really ruin it. Otherwise, I got a custom job. Third coat time. Start with the rail buttons, the rail guides. We're going to make sure that this is our point of reference, so we're starting here, right? Now, there ain't nothing stopping me, just to make sure I'm getting up under in the edges. So I can hold it like that if I want to. And I'm holding him up by its neck. Come here, you little sumo. I got you now. You're gonna give me a cert. I know it. Whether you like it or not, buddy boy. Little chunky sumo. Don't want to get too crazy with it. Keep shaking. If we got to do another coat or two, we will. Hell, if all else fails, I'll paint the whole damn thing yellow and have a red nose cone. Ketchup and mustard, Sumo, custom, Robbie D paint job, half-half Rocketry. Something like that. It is looking shiny. And the good news is, I don't see any runs. So, hey. No runs. I'm happy about that. Technically, this is our third coat. We could stop. But I'm going to check over it. Yep, no one's going to notice your mistakes like you're going to notice your own mistakes. Unless you point them out. But I'm going to tell you, this is actually coming out pretty good, considering all the issues. Just got to get that stupid piston fitting in there, because it's not fitting right now, so I got a lot more sanding to do on it. But it's got a nice shine to it. I'm not going to be able to do anything with this for a couple of days, so at least, I don't know, three days or so. Then I can mask it off and get the body done, get the decals on, get the shot cord epoxied in, get it ready, and then put the retainer on and all that, and then hopefully a cert flight soon. So it's been a couple days, and this has had time to dry and cure a little bit. Well, I barely smell any paint, so I'm pretty sure it's cured. I've tried to get the mask as lined up to the bottom. That green frog tape, I'm just trying to kind of follow the line a little bit, curve around. Yeah, that's probably going to be hideous, but I'm not the best masker, as you can tell. And I've had a few issues with my masking plastic. These corners, I guess, are kind of sharp, so I've had to do some patchwork as I've been going along here. So that one's not too bad, or maybe it moved on me. I don't know. So this is what we are doing, and I'm going to try and get this sprayed and painted. So I'm working, and I'm just taking the frog tape and just kind of measuring about that length, and then just pulling it tight, making sure that we're clean here. I washed my hands, make sure my hands were clean too. And we're just trying to follow the lines as best we can, because it does have that curved, I guess what would you call that, a bevel at the bottom. And I'm pressing this, I'm making sure that that line, that edge is down tight so nothing bleeds through. That's really the important part. And if I get any kinks or bubbles up here, whatever. And then I've been kind of just curving this around. But not like that. That ain't gonna work. course, I can cut it to shape a little bit better. I'm not worried about sticking that down, but I have been wrapping this around like so. And I will press it down, but mostly the seal is going to be here on this masking tape and all this. And I'm just trying not to bump it around too much or anything like that. So that I tear up that plastic. That is not what I want to do. It's usually a little easier from this angle. I could have flipped the rocket around, had the nose cone facing here. Big old rocket. Kind of hard to work with in a small space. I don't exactly have a warehouse to work in. And if you do, then I'm jelly. A little too far. Definitely don't want any kinks towards the edge. I want the edge nice and flat. I don't want any paint getting up in there. So after I get it down as good as I can, I kind of work my way maybe like this, a little bit upwards like this. And I really take my thumbnail, my fingernail, and just really work that edge. Just make sure that it's down. All right, once I do that, I'll come back to you. And I'm just curving this end just around like that. And that's been working so far. And of course, yeah, I probably could have done this whole entire thing differently. I could have not put the fins in. I could have went ahead and put the fins in later, painted them, then put them in. But I did not. I'm doing it this way. Figured it'd be a cleaner look, but I know my lines ain't gonna be the cleanest. So now I have this painter's like cellophane, like newspaper material on this masking tape that already comes on a roll. And I think it's like 3 foot of plastic, which is overkill for this. But when I'm doing this, I have to be mindful of this corner because it's already torn a couple times on some of the fins. Get you a better look. See what I'm talking about, huh? This corner right here. It seems like I'm pulling it too tight or something. And I don't know. I don't know nothing. A lot of this is just non-rehearsed, winging it. You're watching it as I'm doing it. I mean, I didn't build and paint a Sumo before this. And any skills that I do have or claim to have is just from stuff throughout the years or stuff that I've learned recently or read about or thought about to look up. And when I was younger, I never took so much care. But you know what? I want my rockets to look better. I really do. I don't want to look like I just dug them out of the dumpster. Just kind of curling that there. Now I'm going to leave a little bit this way because I think that's the problem. I've been laying it too tight. See, it's got to unfurl, and I'm going to cut most of this off. All right, then I kind of flip it like this. You're not really going to be able to, I don't know if I can get you to see that. Let's see here. Kind of flip the veil over. Okay. I'm not going to pull it too tight here because I want this corner to be loose because I've been doing it too tight. I'm not exactly sure how I'm even doing that, but yeah. See, that's how I'm doing it. I'm pulling it. You guys can barely see. So that's how I'm doing it, like that. So I'm leaving a little bit like that. And every time I get on this side, when I come back around, this always seems to curl up on me, flip up on me, not be so pretty as the other side. But as long as I got it over that green tape, that's what I want. This is probably the most meticulous part right here. Actually, it is. The painting parts are probably the easiest, except for the dang weather, if the weather would cooperate. Now, I did have some scissors somewhere. What if I told you I dropped them? Let's see if I can pick them up. Alright, there we go. They're on the floor. Got it. So if I can just kind of cut this. It's actually very, very fragile. I can actually pull it apart for the most part. And I think that's also kind of working against me because every now and then I'm just finding holes in this stuff. I have to patch them up. All right, see, I got so much excess. Now I gotta come back here. You see that? Come back here and seal this off. Kinda, sorta, maybe, hopefully. And stuff like this, I can even fold back over like this, and then go back over it with some more tape. But this right here definitely has to be cut to size. This is about 2 foot worth of excess that I don't need. This is going to get in the way. So I'm going to cut it at a certain length and see if that'll be short enough or too long. So I cut quite a bit of it off. Okay, so now what are we working with? Working with something like this. So I've been kind of just tucking it in, which does cover the fins, which is what we want. Tucking it in and kind of just tucking it just like that. And then I take this corner. Well, I take this corner, make sure that's okay. And then I've been kind of rolling it up a little bit. Kind of folding it over. To fold it over. With something like this. And then I tape it up. Stick some tape to the camera arm there. Could have already done this, but chances are I would have stuck it to myself somehow anyways. I'm literally doing all this pretty much in real time, and I mean real time because this has been a couple days since this has been dried, but tonight, this evening, this weather is actually perfect right now to paint. And if I can get away with doing it tonight, that would be awesome. So, and I'm just taping this over. And that tape looks kind of ugly. And then what you're probably going to want to do is just go over everything that you've done, every fin, before you start painting. Before I start painting, I'm definitely going to do it. That there is no holes or anything. And I can even, because that sharp corner, I'll even take a little bit like this. Just to kind of make some padding right there, just in case I bump it into something walking out the door or something. Actually, I'm going to take another piece right here and kind of tuck this like this. If you guys have a better masking technique, especially for fins, please share it with me. That would be great. Like, I'm gonna have to patch that patch. Made that wrinkle right there. I'm not feeling that. This will be real interesting when I go to take it off. That's for sure. Okay. Now let's see. I can get this wiped up real quick, dust it off, and see if I can't get it outside and see if we can get it painted. Now this is probably going to look some of the worst because I just don't really know how else to really, without taking a bunch of million little pieces of tape to get in there to get the points right. So that frog tape kind of wants to come off a little bit here and there. But that's what it's supposed to do, but I don't want it to do that yet. Now, I do have some blue masking tape. Cheap stuff. Cheaper stuff. That I can use to tack stuff down better. But I think, I don't know, at this point, this is my level 1 rocket. And if it's not as pretty, then it's not as pretty. But hopefully it's just going to survive a level 1 launch. We're going to film at the golden hour. Can't ask for better lighting than that. Y'all should be proud of me. I literally am actually out here right after putting that mask on. This ain't a couple days later or anything like that. I think we're ready. Get this shaken up. We'll get the putting on the first coat. We're running out of light fast. Always playing beat the clock. There's like zero wind right now. Kind of favoring that direction that way. All right, wish me luck. Cross your fingers. Here we go. That's actually going on good. I don't want to curse it, but that's going on really good. Nice light coat. And if I got to do a couple extra coats for that yellow, I will, but so far it looks like it's covering it up. First 4-inch kit. Okay. All right. Yeah, with the sunrise red. Same as the nose cone. We'll wait, put the other one on. Let's do this. Start with the lugs. Now, I got the aft end off camera. Still gonna hit it. Please no runs, come on. I'm not seeing that yellow, so maybe that idea worked on the body tube, but we didn't mask it off. Rail guide still got some gray showing, but that don't matter because they're going to take a beating anyways, really. Yeah, if you haven't noticed, I got all dolled up for you. I look like a caveman. Every time I get all dolled up for you, so I was actually going to be on camera. Seems like it just never works out. It's been a couple days and I'm just looking rough. Who's this bum? Who's this bum playing with his rockets in his backyard? Oh, that's that one guy. Right, you know what to do. We'll be back. Well, I might get caught red-handed, but I do have a Sumo on a stick. Let's get up under that aft end a little bit, huh? Might get all burnt up anyway if I got that up in there too far. But I do want it red. It probably would contrast better being yellow. But want it red. Get caught red-handed. I want to say it's about 75 degrees out here. Probably got about this much can left, maybe. Remember, we already did 3 coats on the nose cone. I do see a lot of like orange peel and bumps, and I do see spirals. So that's just gonna happen. That's just how it's gonna be. 3rd coat. If we gotta do it now, we will. If I can just hit it even, looks like I might shine it up a little bit. Just kind of do like a nice even speed. We're not going too slow or too fast. I can get that nice wet look. Hopefully it don't get on too thick and drip. That's it. That's 3. Unless we got to do another one. I might have to do a couple little touch-ups here and there, like on the rail guides, but you know, those are going to get all scuffed up, so whatever. You know, check the aft end. The aft end can be whatever. Just want this looking decent. And then while this is drying, we get the decals cut out. Of course, it's going to be a couple days before we put those on. Hopefully get this thing up in the air within this next week or so. Just getting some touch up on the rail guides. Get up under the aft end a little bit, making sure I'm hitting up under the fins right there. Hitting the aft end. Any drips. And if I would right about now, they probably would be here. It's all just coming down. I prefer horizontally, but this isn't working out too bad. I'm not even waiting 5 minutes. We're gonna ruin it. We're gonna ruin it right now. See, actually that kind of shined up a lot. Y'all probably can't see. Little hair right there. Yep, gotta love it. A nice red dowel rod. Well guys, I think this is ready to let it dry. Enough to where I could pull the mask off. It's been about 25 minutes or so. Okay. Where do we start? Somewheres. I can get it off from here. It's gonna get on my fingers, whatever. Just don't want it to get on the fins if it's still kind of wet. I'm trying not to touch the rocket itself as well, the body. It's looking like it's just wanting to come right off. Let's see. Gotta be careful not to touch the yellow. That's looking nice and crisp, I will say that. Of course, I masked it like a dummy, but that's as good as it's going to get for me. Something touched it a little bit. The mask touched it somewhere, or I did, on the other side. I should be wearing gloves, but I'm not. 'Cause why would I do something somewhat smart and professional? And actually, I just touched the body right there. Oh my God, I just touched the body. That's looking crisp. See, a little bit right here. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully I get covered up by a decal or something. I'm so not so smart. Wow. And I'm just going to keep on doing it. I'm still not going to put on any gloves. Why would I stop now when we're way ahead of the game? Huh? I have a lot to clean up off of my hands, if I can actually. And then my fingernails, I'm gonna have my nice red fingernails. Ooh, nice and pretty. Please don't fall on me, because that would just be the absolute grand finale, as if this just fell in the dirt. And I don't care, I'd still show you, because that would be hilarious and piss me off at the same time. But you can't ask for better comedy, so I don't want that to happen, actually. So, but my setups are not the best. That's why we're called half-assed rocketry, because we do everything half-assed. Sometimes even quarter-aft. Not even a full half-aft. Oh my God, this is not working in my favor at all. Y'all learn from this and what I did wrong, because I've done some stuff wrong here. That's peeling off crisp. Let's see if I can just not touch the dang fin with any red. That would be great. It's not. Okay, man, I can come back around this way. Peel it off like a dirty glove that I should be wearing. Okay, except for that little spot right there, that came out okay. Come on. Who said Rocketry was a beauty contest anyways, right? Well. Come on. All right, 3 down. That one's not too bad. It's got a couple little red spots here and there. Grand finale. Last one. Let's see. Hit the tape. I think the tape moved on me a little bit on this one. It might. Nope. Nope. Okay. Yeah, it's not so clean and crisp there towards the tip. See, now that's actually peeling how I want it to. That was probably the cleanest one, except for the tip. Okay, guys, that is a Sumo rocket. Now I gotta figure out how to turn off my phone because my fingers are nasty. But we'll do a full inspection here shortly.